And now, through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future, Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It's the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream main event. I'm your host, Protoman. I am the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday, and it is Saturday, and what a Saturday it is. What a Saturday. It is the Singapore Comic-Con and Cybertron Fest this weekend, and man, we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. We also have a unique unboxing tonight, not really Transformer related, but I'm pretty sure people have been following the live streams over the past couple of weeks will probably get a little rise out of it. How we all doing? Who's the patrons and green YouTube members today? We got Patrick Brown, Michael Butcher's here, Lord Soundwarp, Abraham is here, Timmy Kate Poindexter, T-Formers 2002, who's also a patron, Cringe McCringle, who's also a patron. Who else is here? The twins are here. Bigums is here. Ashnud, Princeton Phalanx 59. Looking good, looking good. So we're going to cover all the stuff. We got a whole bunch of brand new images. I know I did a segment yesterday, but whole bunch of new images came out. Some new information, some new speculation, both on the big boy and the smaller boy. We got new photos to talk about. I got some items here on the side to kind of give perspective to. We'll definitely be talking about it for the next 2 hours and then some. So be sure to hit that super chat or contribute if you will. Orlando Chavez, what's up, man? And James too. Everyone's popping in. Good, good, good. So, Princeton Phalanx already with the super chat. With the $2 super chat, I got my HasLab Deathsaurus and his tank today. So Aaron Archer said he got his tank today too. Not today, yesterday he got it. So it looks like people on the G.I. Joe side are also getting his tank. The Deathsaurus slowly is trickling out for people. I know me in my case, because I didn't pay for mine, and it's the kind of the same thing like Victory Saber, because it's more of a sponsorship thing with HasLab and not HasLab, with Hasbro Pulse, that I'll probably get it like 2 weeks after everyone else, or 3 weeks like Victory Saber was, because I know I paid for Unicron and he came a lot quicker. Anyways, let's jump into it. What's up, Rodimus, Power Lizard, Sphere X, Sheriff? Everyone is piling in. It's gonna be a good one, guys. It's gonna be a good one. So let's jump into it. Got some footage too. We got a lot to cover. So again, like I said, it's Singapore Comic-Con 2023, wrapping up 2023 with a humongous event on the other side of the globe. And they have a huge section of the Singapore Comic-Con that is cordoned off for the Transformers Cybertron Fest, which is an official Hasbro-sponsored event with big reveals and new product. And man, I wish I was there, I'll be honest with you. It looks pretty hype. Tokyo Comic-Con apparently is happening also right now in Japan. So a lot of great stuff on the other side of the globe going on. But I mean, hey, it's pretty hype. And of course, the first thing that they showed us was what they promised a couple weeks ago. We kind of talked about it, this and that on the podcast. And now we got a name. Now we got everything. And it's the Year of the Dragon 2024 Crimson Flame. A extensive retool of the old Last Night Steelbane deluxe class figure. And quite an extensive retool it is. Very nice box, very in tune with what they've done with some of the year of series stuff in the past. Go check out my individual segment about this guy. You can kind of learn the micro history of the year of series that was started back in, if I remember, 2013 was the very first one. And this one has that very Lee kind of style, the red and the gold, or the red and yellow, good luck from China kind of thing. Looking fabulous. But let's talk about the figure itself. Brand new head sculpt, a lot of new tooling all over it in general. And Crimson Flame's looking pretty hot. Now, the original Steelbane mold, unfortunately, both the Steel Bane version, I believe it was the Skullatron, I believe was the name of the retool that was a Toys R Us exclusive. They were kind of a little floppy in their design. I don't know how this one is, but the past two were kind of floppy in design, maybe without the wings there, maybe with the new tooling and the new plastics. Who knows? This might be a better final figure. It looks good, at least, in my opinion. But we will see. I like the head sculpt on it. Very feudal China and a brand new weapon, brand new shield. Just a lot of great tooling here. So the story is with this is you scan this QR code and it takes you to Singapore Amazon. People who have scanned this QR code on the floor of the store have said that the listing isn't up yet. So we don't have a price, but the Hasbro representatives from Singapore Comic Con have said that the plan is to release it January 20th, 2024, before Chinese New Year. So it could be a gift for friends or family or children. So it will ship out before then, before Chinese New Year. So it could be a gift, but we don't have a price yet. But I mean, it's a deluxe class with some new bells and whistles. So we will see what happens with that. Looks pretty good though. Otherwise, we will see. Aside from that, you know, uh, we will find out more as time progresses. So next up, and this is the big one, let's talk about our Wheeljack. So this is something that we talked about, I want to say 4 months ago, maybe more, when we got a buzzworthy Bumblebee listing of a Origin Wheeljack that is a Voyager class, a step up. And you'll see in a moment how they really justify the Voyager class price point in a lot of different ways, a lot of stuff that we didn't know yesterday that we do know today. From this image here, you can see it does a pretty good job of dealing with that extra shell, if you will, that makes the Voyager class the gun that he comes with, the two little blades that could be plugged in on the front on 5mm pegs, looking really good and everything. That was the photo we showed yesterday, but we got more information today. So it looks like on top of it all, he is going to come with his blast shield that he also had in More to Meets the Eye Parts 1, Episode 1, that could be attached on top, as well as the ability to store Bumblebee. Now, some people have been going, well, I mean, goodness, how do you store that Bumblebee? Because here, let me just pull up one moment. There we go. So obviously, it's probably not going to be this wide that you could store the Bumblebee. But one thing that probably will happen is you could probably take your Bumblebee and you fold up the pieces like so. And you do it on the other side like so. And then probably that already you lose a good couple inches on each side, giggity, and it probably could be stored that way. That's how I imagine. I mean, if you watch even the original animation, Bumblebee kind of squeezes his way in there to begin with, but that's pretty hype. That is pretty hype. I like what I see here. Looking real cool. I like the blast shield. Again, much like Studio Series Hot Rod, taking that Voyager price point and giving us a really good deluxe scale figure with some extra bells and whistles that give character to the character, which is something we all want in a lot of ways. And again, going back even to this shot here, if you look at the top left, he has these little rivets on the side of his spoiler, if you want to call it that, that could hold even the Bumblebee Energon conductor rods. So they could be stored there. They could probably be stored in the back too, but I think it's more just intended that you put them on the side. So if you have an Origins Bumblebee, this is a good DLC upgrade kit. And on the bottom right image there, it also shows that the little spinner blades that could be plugged in on the 5mm pegs could also be put on the 5mm pegs on his body. Really cool. I dig it. I love the Origin line thus far. Again, I grew up with G1. I grew up with G2. This, More to Meets the Eye Parts 1, 2, and 3 during even the G2 run were played a lot on Channel 22 back in the day for me. I'm an old man. But it's something where I have a lot of nostalgia for this, so I dig it. I already have the Bumblebee. I don't have the Jazz yet. I'm trying to track down the Jazz for a good price. But I can't wait to get them all. And this is going to be a nice DLC to the Bumblebee, and that'll be pretty hype. That'll be pretty hype. Now I'm going to want to have my Bumblebee displayed like this. I had him in robot mode all this time, but now I'm going to want them having displayed the other way. Maybe they'll do a re-release or something. But I also want to establish something too that people were talking about. So at the show, it said Cybertron Fest 2023 2-day exclusive on the product card that was showed in the display. Do not worry, people. This will be a mainline item that will be available through Buzzworthy Bumblebee. We had the listings online as well as a release date for this item. Now, don't take this release date 100%. This is just what was available all a while back when JT Prime 17 reported this from the Target retailers. We also got a quote. In recent solicitations, most of the 2024 Buzzworthy products have had the Buzzworthy title removed from their listings. It will start with Origin Wheeljack. So it seems that the Buzzworthy brand might be going out of circulation. Wheeljack is only coming in a solid case and is still labeled as a Target exclusive for the US market. So what's probably going to be happening in 2024 is Buzzworthy Bumblebee will be discontinued as a line, but it will be still available at Target under a new kind of branding, and we might have something that's not Buzzworthy Bumblebee anymore. We talked, yeah, I mean, Buzzworthy Bumblebee has been around for about 3 years now, a little under that, 2.5 years, which is, you know, it did what it had to do. Hopefully there's something that still exists that kind of does that, because Buzzworthy Bumblebee, I feel, was a really good place to put reissues of Transformer product that sold out very quickly in the modern market. I'm looking at like Studio Series, Movie Grimlock, and a few others that really helped alleviate that pain. And I feel that was always a good place. Even if a Target isn't available in your local area, usually by that product existing, it might be in a Toys R Us in Canada or a GameStop in Europe. So the opportunities do present itself with the Buzzworthy line. So even though it might be not continuing in 2024, it will exist in spirit in some other shape and form through Target and its local retailers. So stay tuned for more for that, but don't worry about the Wheeljack. It will be available at Target. And don't pay scalpers right now that are picking this up as a 2-day exclusive at the show today. So pretty hype stuff, looking really good. I dig it. Let me know what you think, because I like it. I like it a lot. Let's talk about our big boy. Let's talk about the Titan class. The big conversation this weekend. Let's talk about Titan class Armada Universe Tidal Wave, or Shockwave as he was called in Micron Detsetsu. Looking amazing. Looking quite amazing, and we got a whole bunch of slides and video to break down what's really going on here. On face value, you got big, amazing Tidal Wave Titan class figure that looks pretty crazy. Mr. Bumblebot with the YouTube member question, Armada Megs will have trouble holding Tidal Wave's parts. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's hard to say. I always feel that images could only tell us so much. Video could only tell us so much, because they're always messing with EP1s and test shots that have been transformed back and forth 1,000 times and have been loose like crazy. At the end of the day, we'll see when I have it in hand, because there's there's been so many times I get hyped about a product, and when you get it in hand, it's not the case. And there's been times where you have sleeper products that you ignore and you get them in hand and they're amazing. But he looks really good. I really dig it. We got some really good size comparisons. An individual who was at Singapore Comic Con, Evoto Simp, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He brought his Micron Detsetsu Purple Wave. So this boy right here, which next to my big old head, and I got a big head. That's how big he is there. So just to give you a little bit of a scale idea, he was kind of trying to hold it next to it. The next photo he has probably gives a better idea just how big this guy is. But looking pretty good. Really dig it. I like what I see. Very, very nice. I mean, what I like about it too is a Purple Wave Micron version has always been very expensive in the secondary market, usually running about $100 to $150 to sometimes $200. Now this is something where if you got $200 that you're going to put towards the purple original, you could put it towards the Titan class and you can get something a lot bigger. So pretty hype. Really dig it. I mean, it's probably, judging by the size that we saw, and I'll show a video in a moment. But I mean, let's talk about how it combines. So there's a few things going on here with combining elements. Number one, we have an extra combiner piece that's stored in his back that kind of acts as a mini version of some of Tidal Wave's Dark Fleet pieces, and that's what the Dark Fleet was called. His 3 members was called the Dark Fleet. So there's those pieces that are stored on the back. On the top right, you probably combine the lower pieces of his arm and combine them together to make his arm on the other side. And then, of course, his shin pieces disconnect to make little stilts that go on the bottom of his feet to make him a little taller. And ladies and gentlemen, you got Megatron popping off right there, looking real good. So that's pretty hype. I mean, I dig it. I dig it. I know that Aaron digs it. Something that he got to work on and see it come to life and being brought back in the modern era. I'm pretty sure Aaron's somewhere in the chat here chilling, but pretty exciting. Looks really good. And let's get a little video here from Sam Smith and BMAC. So enjoy.
To make Burning Megatron.
But how are we gonna do that? Megatron is not small.
I know. So it's like you guys gotta pick. You gotta pick one. Which one? And ultimately, we have to deliver it all. So let's take a look at their thing. So clearly, we can see that we delivered this, right? So here in that combined vehicle mode, you have great use of our port systems. So you have your 5mm ports for the upper cannons that articulate up. You have these smaller 3mm port blasters that are able to rotate around the deck, delivering that aircraft carrier, as well as the 2 other aquatic-themed vehicles. This thing, it's great. I mean, so that's 2 modes. 2 modes. We delivered on. All right. So now,
so like, I mean, it just looks great.
A lot of breaking fantasy here. We have this combined war rig mode. Again, you're able to sort of take influence from some of the cities that we've been able to do in the past, but really be able to give this giant armory of a base to a character like Tidal Wave, which was amazing. And of course, you have the Dark Fleet itself. Take these out of here. We got too much to.
So what we got here essentially is, we got something that it does a base mode too, which, I mean, when I look at the original here, I feel like maybe if I go back and watch a video, I could probably reenact that base mode in a lot of ways. I mean, Tidal Wave had those little seats, so that could almost act as part of the base mode and stuff. You could have a waiting area. I think what I'm going to do is sometime this week, I'm going to take my original Tidal Wave and I'll probably take maybe the Japanese version or something. The Japanese version I couldn't reach; it's all the way in the back, so I grabbed the traditional classic American version, and I'll try to maybe see if I could reenact the base mode and stuff. One thing that I do want to address too is if you look at, let me see if I have one of the really good images here. If you look at part of the Dark Fleet, if you look at the middle section member, he does have a little storage area here, similar to the original here. And anyone who knows that, yo, what's up? That's what was where they stored Ramjet, his little jet dude here. Let me just pull Ramjet out. So I don't know if that gimmick was maintained. Is that something that he's very ratchety? I apologize for that. I don't know if that was maintained and they kept that gimmick. Obviously, Ramjet was not included. I'm pretty sure they would have brought him up or showed him if he was included in this set. I feel that mini-con packs are going to be a thing in the future, and that's the best way they're going to do it, is they're just going to sell it to us separately, much like they did with some Micromasters and stuff. So I think I want to see if they maintain that. It would be really cool if they kept it. I like that base mode. I think it's pretty rad. It doesn't seem very tacked on. It actually looks like it was kind of a little bit deliberate in some of the tooling and everything. Looks really nice. Fun fact about our little boy here, Ramjet. He's actually the most mini of all the mini cons. I think I posted an image on Instagram a while back. He's the shortest of all the mini cons. He's very tiny, very tiny mini con. Like, I wish I had an oh wait, here I have my buddy Dulor here. See, Dulor's already a little taller than him, and Dulor's actually a pretty big mini con in comparison. So he's a very tiny mini con. So I'm kind of curious if they're going to bring back the little dude, make him part of Tidal Wave, so he could store in that little compartment on the Dark Fleet. But pretty hype, pretty hype. Thank you for the video. Hasbro Pulse has that out there. We'll probably get the full video later this week through some kind of Hasbro Pulse live stream and stuff. We'll get a lot of really cool stuff and everything. But much like Princeton Phalanx 59 said with his $2 super chat, bro, you're thinking what I'm thinking, because here's your question. Do you think they'll do the Energon Green? Hap. So we already got a fan Digibash. You thinking what I'm thinking? Here's some options for the future. Here's a few options anyhow. So we got the purple version that's much more screen accurate. The question is, do they want to go with the clear Energon Green, or do they want to go with the video game accurate / American toy accurate, purples and greens, the more military colors, as Aaron referred to it as. So we will see. Historically, our Titan classes always got one repaint. Technically two if you count like an SDCC exclusive or something. But in general, usually a Titan class gets one repaint. So chances are these guys here, if they do get a repaint, you'll have to fight it out which one it's going to be, left or right. But what do you want? Do you want Energon Green, which actually was featured in the show and was used quite a bit in the Super Link and Energon cartoon? Or do you want the more military purple and green that was used quite a bit in the video game and maybe would make more sense in a different, let's to play devil's advocate. If you played the Armada video game, he's massive. He's a Titan class in that. So that almost works perfectly in a lot of ways. For that one, where that would scale very well with your figures, because that was the big Tidal Wave that made the big place and stuff. I love that video game, and I love that boss. Probably, I don't know, maybe one of the more harder boss battles in the game, I'd have to say. Mind you, if you're using Hotshot, it's pretty easy. But I mean, if you're using Red Alert, it's a little tougher. But pretty cool, pretty cool. Really dig it. Very excited about that. Really love what I see, and hopefully we learn more. Also, just want to cover too, here's the box. Now, this is the best photo we have right now. Obviously, right now, as we speak, is the morning of the Sunday of the show. Hopefully, somebody with a nice high-res camera will take a really nice photo of the front of the box, because there's a lot of little characters on this. And if history has taught us anything about our Titan classes, every time they feature characters on the boxes, they become figures in the very near future. So who are these guys? They're very hard to see. The bloom of the flash and the coloring is really washing them out. There's some guys in the water. There's some guys shooting at them. So I want to know who these characters are. I'm super stoked about it. Really, really looking forward to it. Again, Tidal Wave's an awesome character. Go back and watch the Japanese version of Micron Detsetsu, aka Legend of Micron Transformers, and really cool character. It was called Shockwave in that one, though. I prefer Tidal Wave as a name, just because creates that differentiation of characters, so you don't mix them up. But yeah, I dig it. Looks really good. Really looking forward to it. Big old Tidal Wave. Big old Tidal Wave. Yeah, the box might be from the video even. It's probably the case because it's so bloomed, but hopefully we'll get a nice HD box image or something that'll be on the floor, and then we'll be able to take it apart and everything. I get a feeling this week we're going to definitely be covering this way more on the podcast. I know I have a few other segments planned. I have a Patreon listener question I'm going to be doing this week and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So we're definitely going to probably, during this week, we're going to do a deep visual breakdown for people and make sense of it for people that aren't here for the podcast. And I have the more flexibility to show different images and everything like that. And yeah. T-Formers 2002. This new Tidal Wave is literally an example of the old term G1 with knees, even though it's not really G1, but it's nice. Well, I mean, Aaron Archer said it the best. He always considered Armada G3, like G1 2.0, and that was kind of the goal in a lot of ways, to modernize this one. Tidal Wave did have knees, just bull-legged knees in a different way. They bent in a different way, I guess. He had those big heavy ratchets. Really good figure. I forget what the price point was called back then, because they had the Supercon, Megacon, price point and everything, the Gigacon. We would just at this price point, this was like what we called pretty much the leader class back then. But what a great figure! What a great fun figure! Loved it. When I played the Armada game, ended up loving it even more. When I watched the show, ended up loving it even more. I always feel that fiction adds so much to a character and makes it grow. So really cool. Mad CRX. I wonder if you're a fan of the Honda CRX. Mad CRX with the, I guess that's $2 Australian super chat. Lots of people saying blast off on the box art. Well, I mean, if blast off's on the box art, we might be getting a little bit of a peek into what our next combiner might be. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. I'm not going to say it right away because I need to see it with my own eyes. People could like speculate and see, but I'll see it with my own eyes and I'll definitely see where we go with that. But pretty hype. Really like it. Looking great. Looking real good. Looking really good. If they gave us the victory, guys, why not? Hey, man. I always say, we used to be at a time where, there was restrictions on what Transformer toys could be made. But now we live in a day and age where anything is possible. Anything is possible. There is not a single character you could tell me that Hasbro won't consider now. It's a very different era. The people that work on the toys are fans. Like there's the kind of people that are like, yeah, we're going to do Gilthor, the manga exclusive character. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. As long as they can legally do it, they'll do it. They'll do those characters. So it's very exciting. It's a very exciting time to be a fan. It's a very exciting time to be a fan if you got into the fandom in the early 2000s. I mean, I'm an 80s kid, so I've been around the whole gamut. I didn't stop. I'm a psycho, you know. I'm a little bit crazy, you know, all over the place. It's all over. Didn't stop. So, and I just screwed up the camera just to show you guys, but I never stopped and never will stop. But it's really great for fans that came in later on through Cartoon Network and everything. And yeah, great time, especially if you were a Unicron trilogy kid. Great time, great time. Rodimus Power with the YouTube member question: will we get Energon Ironhide in the foreseeable future? I mean, that's a shape that could totally be done. I always say, like, when you think about characters, like, oh, I'd like to see XYZ, always think about the silhouette, right? Energon Ironhide, high top Jeep, like totally could be done, totally could be done. There's something, they'll figure something out. They'll do that, and then they'll do like a blown up Micromaster high jump. I'm just like spitballing here, but it's like, I mean, not to mention if you get an Energon, not Energon, an Armada Red Alert, which is also kind of that Humvee kind of thing. There's the silhouette, there's the tooling that could be done, and then the amazing retooling that they done afterwards that it just makes it possible. Everyone looks at that deluxe class Shadow Striker and sees Sideburn Speedbreaker, and it's kind of the same thing. You look at certain molds and you go, hey, it could totally happen. Timmy K. Poindexter says he'd like to see Erector. I'd like to see Erector. I worked on a bunch of third-party Erector toys back in the day. It's our old comic. I wrote the comic on him, on our masterpiece Erector. Who did I do that one with? That was with Perez and Milne back in the day. We did our Erector comic back in the day. Shout out to Alex Milne and Josh Perez, my boys. But I would like to see Erector again. He was fun to do, fun stuff. And then Aaron Archer did that tribute to Erector at BotCon 2011, I think it was. So great stuff, great stuff. Lizard Sphere X, we're getting 2 trio cons next year. Yeah, we will see. We will see. We will see. Certain combine as the triple changers. We will see what's happening with that. Those are just listings right now. Bigham says, I got burned on FedEx again. My HasLab Hiss went out for delivery 2 days ago, and now it's just showing as pending. Yeah, that always sucks. You know what? I always say you have to have like a really good neighbor. You know what I mean? I want to give a shout out to my neighbor. I don't want to say his full name because I don't know, but I just want to give a shout out to him because I have this really good neighbor. He's across from me, and every single time, he'll send me a message and he'll be like someone dropped a small package at your door. Thanks, Mike. Just want to give a shout out to Mike. Really appreciate it. Every time I'm out, He'll let me know if a package is in front of the door. He'll watch over it for me, or if he knows if it's like a big package that someone would see from the street, he'll cross the street and take it into his house and he'll bring it to me later. So if you have like a really good neighbor, they could kind of watch out for you. Always be good to your neighbor. That's what I always say. Make friends. Make friends. Don't just stare at your screen all day. Make friends with the people around you. So that's always something you could do. So anyways, we're gonna go through. Oh, we have one more. I have one more slide I need to go through, and we'll get to more super chats in a moment. Uh, and then of course we have this news that I covered: Splash Damage, along with the Transformers Reactivate video game social media account, announced that it will be delayed. Um, because of their switching over from the Unity engine. This is just speculation, but considering what's going on in the video game industry right now, it's pretty clear what's going on, and they probably legally couldn't say it, but they're going from a original engine to the Unreal Engine 5, which I mean, it's pretty clear they were using the Unity engine before, and everyone knows what's going on with Unity right now. If you don't know, go check out my individual segment I did, I believe, on Monday about this and my rant. I did a little bit of a rant because I'm kind of worried about the business side of it. We already have the Reactivate toys on shelves. I literally went out today and I was going to just get my phone for a moment and show you guys. I literally saw all the Reactivate toys are at GameStop right now, even here in Canada. And I'm like, my God, like it's out right now. And that game is probably not going to be out for another 3 to 6 months. And by the time it comes out, by the time people play it, not us, the normies, by the time they play it and go, oh, I want to get toys of this video game, they won't even be on shelves anymore, or they'll be on clearance. Really bad timing. Go check out my segment that I did on that, and you'll understand what I'm kind of getting at. But I mean, kind of sucks that it's being delayed, but I don't want a Duke Nukem Forever situation where it ends up in, ends up in limbo. But yeah, so let's get into some sponsorship. Then we're going to talk about our cool little thing we got in the P.O. box from a fan. And then we will finish the rest of the night with the rest of the super chats and everything like that. And first thing we got to cover is, of course, Symbiote Studios. My boy, with the whole crew of Symbiote Studios, the brand new Transformer Slag plush. Go to get that plush at symbiotestudios.com if you haven't already. You will regret it when it sells out, people, because stuff has been selling out like mad. So go get it. Get really hyped for the new Ultra Magnus we'll be getting in 2024. Next month, people, we will have a whole bunch of new reveals for 2024 from Symbiote Studios. We have a great slew of brand new Transformer plushes coming. Pretty hype. Pretty hype. And of course, the whole rest crew. Look at all these ones that are sold out. Some of them will be going back in stock. I don't want to say which ones just yet because we are waiting from the factories and Hasbro and stuff for that to happen. But some of them have sold out already. So get them while you can, guys. Get them while you can. SymbioteStudios.com. Great sponsors of the podcast with the t-shirts, the pins. I love the Catnip Bravo shirts and everything that they send me, as well as all the other Hasbro products that have been selling out too. Check them all out. Check them all out. Great stuff. Fantastic. And of course, Anda Seats. This is going to be the last month of Anda Seats, guys, but thank you, Anda Seats, for sponsoring the podcast for the past year. Great stuff. And of course, giving deals to all my different patrons and YouTube members and fans so they could get a beautiful Transformer chair. And they gave me one too. Anyone who watched the early live streams, I had a garbage chair from Walmart, and even more garbage chair from Costco. Don't ever get a gaming chair from Costco, let me tell you right now. Not good stuff. But yeah, thank you, Anda Seats, for all the years of love and support and being a sponsor for the past year of the podcast. Again, they are finally rolling out the end of the Transformer line. Use promo code PROTOMAN and get 15% off your order. They are on sale right now, and you could stack that too. So get your Anda Seat while you still can. And of course, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Is Aaron in the chat? I don't know. I didn't see his name pop up. He'll probably pop up later. He's with the friends and family right now. But yeah, Aaron's podcast too. If you have not checked it out, we put out the latest segment, the history and the creation of Masterpiece Optimus Prime MPO1. We talked with the man himself who created it, who was behind it, and how it happened. What a great story! And it's just great talking about the longest running Transformer subline of all time. Started in 2003, technically, late 2003, and is still running to this very day. Still running. Imagine. And aside from that, if you also love Aaron Archer, go check out the Art of Transforming Robots Volume 2 Color Edition. Go pick up a copy from archermonster.com/shop for an extra $15. You get the delicious sketch on the inside too of anything you want. And of course, go pick up some art too. He put up a few new ones too. I didn't put them in the slide here. I think one of them here is sold already, but there's some new ones that were added. So go check out archermonster.com/shop. Sort by newest, and you will see some brand new, exclusive, beautiful, one of a kind, original Transformers instructions, but with a beautiful painting of that character on the instructions made just for you. Go check it out, archermonster.com/shop. And that's it, more or less. We got a super chat from Brainstorm 2002. Thank you, Brainstorm, for the super chat. I can't wait for Reactivate. Been waiting for GTA 6 for years. I can wait longer. Well, that's what I always say too. I mean, it's something where you could probably fill the time with other games. I mean, when I got, what was the one that they did with Drip Drop Games? They did the Transformers Cyberverse one, Battlegrounds. I got Battlegrounds like day one, and then I didn't play it for like a month because I was still catching up on other games I was playing at the time. So I mean, it's something where we could wait. I'm pretty sure we could wait. It's just for me, it's not about the waiting. If if it comes out later and the game is good and they took that time to perfect it, hey, that's awesome. But from the business side of it, you gotta sell the toys with it. The video games are very important to the lifeblood of continuing this brand with the new audience, the younger kids that don't care about plastic toys, the lapsed fans that don't engage with Transformer product. And if they get a video game of Transformers and they go, oh, I want to own figures of these characters that I played with in the video game. It's the same way how people play Fortnite and they buy, Fortnite action figures, or they play Among Us and buy Among Us action figures. They play Minecraft and they buy Minecraft action figures and Minecraft Lego. There's that transitional thing that goes on there. And if you give them their first cigarette, they might be hooked for life. Oh man, this isn't. Anyways, but the point is, that's how it works, yo. Thank you for the super chat, Brainstorm. You're a new face. Thank you, thank you. Mark Morales with the $5 super chat. It would be absolutely crime if they don't put the iconic jumping shot on the Commander Optimus box art. Oh, you're talking about like from the '86 movie? I'm pretty sure they'll do something like that. I know that, funny story, when they did the box, I think it was the logo. I think it was the logo. Where is it? The logo for this guy. Like when they did the 20th anniversary celebration, the logo for the 20th anniversary was the jumping Optimus. Like they did like a screenshot of that and they like cleaned it up. So that was kind of the logo for it. So I'm pretty sure they'll do something like that, or the emblem, whatever you want to call it. Really hype. Really, really hype. I can't wait to see how that comes out too. I mean, we need an update because as much as I appreciate the Earthrise Optimus, I remember seeing it. I never picked it up because I was like, oh, that's cool. But I saw the smokestacks. I saw the trailer, and of course, the early images had the gray hands. Of course, they ended up being blue in the end, but the early images showed gray hands, and I had this like hesitation, going like, ooh, feel like they're going to do something better. And of course, the vehicle mode has this weird thing on the front that clearly isn't the original 80. I think it was an 81 Peterbilt, so Peterbilt, excuse me. Um, Again, I really hope they knock this one out of the park. And if it's Studio Series, I think it will. But I mean, if you're a masterpiece collector like me too, you kind of got your fix, but you still want to have your fix that isn't as fragile and finicky. So we will see. We will see. But great stuff. Very excited about it. And thank you again for the super chat, Mark. Thank you. Thank you. So before we get into any more super chats, I do want to talk about this. So let me get the exacto too. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a talk on the live stream. We had a really great talk where I talked about how we did our little, like, we polled the audience here with super chats and YouTube members answers, and we're like, okay, it's Friday night. You go to your Blockbuster, and I said Blockbuster because they have more stuff there, but your Blockbuster, your local mom and pop video rental store, it was because of this beautiful thing. I popped it back out of the game room to show you guys. I was talking about how back in the days, this is what a Super Nintendo rental would be in back in the day. Anyways, and I was saying, like, so it's Friday night. You could rent one game, you could rent one movie, and make it be like the peak year of your life, not something today. So I was like 1997 for me. I'm an old man. One game, one movie, one snack, like a chocolate bar or a chip or whatever, and one drink. Could be a soda or something. What are those four things? And so, all the questions were all over the place, and it's gonna be the answers, and they were some really good answers there and everything. But one thing that Aaron Archer pointed out, he was like, "Oh, I want snow caps," and I was like, all the other answers, all the other chocolate bars and stuff and movies I've heard of. And I was like, "What are snow caps? Never heard of snow caps. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian." But then there was other people going, "Yeah, snow caps are really good." And I was like, "Oh man, I got to get me some snow caps." I went to my PO box on Tuesday, and in my PO box was a package that was express mail, meaning like it had to be sent to me immediately, and it had no return address on it. With a case, like a 3-pack case of snow caps. So thank you. Who was it that sent this? I know it wasn't you, Aaron, but because you would have told me. But who sent me the snow caps? So that's pretty hype. And there are a whole bunch of them. They're all sealed. It's pretty crazy how sealed they are and everything. So that's pretty crazy. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna open up this box of snow caps that are not expired yet. They expire in May of 2024. And we're gonna try them out live. I never had snow caps before. So if they're as good as you people say it is, it says here semi-sweet chocolate, nonpareils, and there's no French on this packaging, so that's definitely another reason why I probably would have never came out here because we need to have French and English on our packaging. And if you finish the whole package, it's 103% of your sugar for the day. So I'm imagining this is some crazy stuff. Who sent it? Was it Abraham? Who sent it? Abraham, did you send them? Who sent the snow caps? Because someone sent these to me and there was no return address at all. So we're going to open this up. Never had these before. I don't know how. There we go. And then we'll see some people's answers too on top of it. Of course, I'm going to eat them live. That's the whole point. I'm going to crack it open. I'm going to do all of that. I have to actually use an X-Acto because, man, they seal this thing crazy tight. They seal this thing like crazy tight. Supposedly you get these at like Blockbuster and movie theaters. Like this isn't something you just find easily in the stores. It was a Blockbuster thing. So I don't know. I do not know. They look similar to something we have in Canada, but I'm not sure yet. I want to see. First, we'll do a review. So love the box art. It homages back in the day of the snowy days. This is such a Canadian product. It should be with all the snow and everything, but apparently it's not available in Canada at all. Love the packaging. Homaging the snow cap from 1984's G1. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, love this. Love this. Love this. Okay, it wasn't you. Okay, who sent it then? Who sent these? So let's see. Let's crack open this thing. Let's crack it open. Oh my God, they're tiny. They're so small. Look at these. They're so small. Look how small those are. But they look similar to something. We have something similar in Canada. But they're a little larger. And they have, instead of it being white, they're like rainbow color. And they taste exactly like it. Let me take a handful of these. Okay. All right. Yeah, they're similar. I don't know what they're called. We have something. Maybe I'll pick them up next week. We have something similar in Canada to that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really good. Thank you to whoever sent it. I really appreciate that. They sent me 3 of them. Like it was like a sealed, almost like it was taken off of the case from the store before they opened it up to put it in display. But that's really cool. Thank you, whoever sent them. I was just like, man, I got to get me some snow caps now. And these are really good. These are really good though, but super high in sugar. One serving is 39% of your sugar for the day. But that's what I love about American junk food. I'm gonna have a few more. Get me blitzed. Mm. Thank you to whoever sent it. Please let me know who you were. I want to pay you back somehow. Where are we at here? If it's mini Funkos, yeah. Mikey and Louie, I'd be surprised if they could fit a Funko in there, even a mini one. I don't have any mini. I think I have one mini Funko. I think I have like the Nightwing one there, but it wouldn't fit in there. That would have been crazy though. The ultimate psych. Alrighty, let's see some questions here. Man, we used to upsell those along with popcorn and Blockbuster. Ah, Timmy K knows what's up. Yeah, that's what I was told. I was told that like because I was like, where do I find them? And they aren't available in Canada. And they really were like a Blockbuster and movie theater thing. And Aaron Archer swears by them. So I was like, okay. And a lot of you guys a couple of weeks ago were just like, yeah. So that little question I asked, if you guys have any to add to it, your favorite, what movie do you pick up? Like, I want to know the year too. Say like the year, because that'll give me a good idea. So the year, the movie, the video game, the snack, and the drink. So my answer was 1997. I'm at a Blockbuster. I'm picking up I want to say Transformers the movie, but that's like the easy go-to. So let's say Demolition Man. I really like that Sylvester Stallone movie. It was really fun. Demolition Man. Let's go with video game. Let's say Mega Man 8. I obviously own it today, but I didn't own it back then. So Mega Man 8 for PlayStation 1. Let's go with the snack. I'm going to go Cookies and Cream by Hershey. I love that chocolate bar back in the day. It's discontinued today, but I really like that one. Um, I'm making it all based in 1997. And the drink, let's go with cream soda. Love cream soda. So that'll be my go-to. Patrick Brown with the YouTube member question. Go get Rick and Morty season 7 episode 8 TF the 86 movie parody. I haven't watched Rick and Morty in a while. I remember the first time I discovered it, we were at HasCon and we were back at our Airbnb kind of hotel room and it was on TV and I think it was like the beginning of season 2 and I was like, "Oh, it's a funny show." But it's just I just haven't had the time to like dive into it more and watch the rest of it. I know that one of the guys that does the voices on the show, he has a YouTube channel where he does stuff too. I don't know if he still does it, but it was pretty hype. Pretty hype, pretty hype. Where we at here? Transformers Talk Raw with the $2 super chat question. Good live PM. Y'all have a good night. Stoked for Tidal Wave. Well, thank you, Transformers Talk Raw. Hope you have a good night too. What time is it now, anyways? Okay, no, we still got time. We still got a good hour or so. Cringe McCringle said Demolition Man was the first R-rated movie I ever saw. Was it R-rated? Cringe when I saw it. I was not over 18. I used to. So the reason why I even bring this up, like the movie, the video store thing. The very first job I ever had as a kid growing up was there was a video store across the street from where I lived called Video Illusion. Shout out to Salim, my old boss, and he was willing to help out a kid who wanted to make a couple bucks. I was no joke. I was like 11 years old looking to make some money. And he was, it was really cool of him to let me like just put away the buttons and put away the tapes. And he paid me $5 a week, which sounds like slave labor, but I really did nothing, you know? It was just an excuse to get kind of like a second allowance in a lot of ways. And but I worked at that video store and I watched so many movies because the rule that we had was if you worked that day at the end of the day before he closes, you could rent whatever you want for free because obviously he's not going to be able to rent it out and just make sure you bring it in the morning. So I would always like take a movie and I would either take Return of Optimus Prime, Demolition Man, Akira. One time I rented all like the Freddy movies and kind of desensitized myself on the Freddy movies. I found the Freddy movies were funnier than the not the Friday 13th, not Friday 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th is Jason. The other ones. What else would I used to rent? But I love Demolition Man. I always thought that was a really good movie, and it kind of gives you an idea of when did I see that movie and everything. And it holds up well. There's one scene in that movie where if you say anything inappropriate, you get a fine. And in this world today where everyone is all sensitive and their ears are brittle, it's such a reflection of today in a lot of ways. And how food is banned and everything is banned. It's crazy. Crazy world we live in. If I miss any of the green ones, because the super chats are popping up in front of me, just repeat your answer, please, please. All the green names, just repeat your answers and I'll see them for sure. So MMA Panda with the gold super chat for $10. Snooped caps are good. Is it snooped caps? They're snow caps. Wait, like so many little things. Real talk. My girl has been waiting to try these too because when we got them, she was like, "Oh, let me know when you open them." Snoop caps are good, but I love Raisinets. Raisinets we do have in Canada. Those are pretty. Raisinets we have also. They're called Glossettes. I think Raisinets is the raisin version, which is raisins with chocolate, and Glossettes is the peanuts version or the almonds version. So you get Raisinets, Mountain Dew. The game will be Super Contra because Super Contra is amazing. Super Contra is always amazing. My God, that game, not to be confused with Super C, the sequel on Nintendo. Super Contra, just that first level, shoot, 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 shoot. Got to get the homing missile, got to get the C missile, got to get the spread shot. Play that game on hard mode. And the movie will be Predator, which is great because Contra's first box art was an homage to Predator. So it used if you go look at that old box art, it uses Sylvester Stallone's art from Rambo 2 and Arnold Schwarzenegger's box art from I believe it's Predator's first movie, and then they photoshopped, and this is photoshopping back in the day, and that's the box art for Contra 1. So I see a theme here, and the Raisinets could be your spread shot, and the Mountain Dew could be how you get jacked. Good stuff. Good stuff. Like your answer, MMA Panda. Good choices. I would see if it was me, the Raisinets would be Glossettes. The drink would be I'll stick with the Mountain Dew, I guess. Why not? But Super C is Super Contra is a really good game. Really, really, really good game. Twins Corner with the $7 Canadian super chat question. What's up, Twins? Delta and Delta and I always forget the other ones. Delta and Omega? Delta and Omega? I always forget the other one because Delta is the easy one to remember. Should just call yourself Zmont and Tomax. That would be better. Quick announcement, December 18th, Death Battle has Unicron versus Galactus. Let's gather and cheer out the Chaos Bringer. Ooh, that's a tough one. Because Galactus is scared of the ultimate nullifier, and Unicron is obviously scared of the Matrix of Leadership. If both of those aren't a factor, then what happens? I'd have to say Galactus wins, maybe. Just because Unicron looks like he could be physically damaged, where Galactus has never been really shown to be physically damaged. A really good book to read up on that is Ultimatum, I believe it was the series. I have all the I'm a big Cosmic Marvel Universe guy, and I have like all the omnibuses. I don't know. I'd have to say Galactus edges him out a little bit. Also, because Galactus' size is all over the place. Sometimes he's as tall as a tall building. Sometimes he's the size of entire planets. It's all over the place. And they say one of the Marvel comics says that the way you see Galactus is how your race interprets it. So one alien race sees Galactus a different way than the purple with the horns and stuff. So and then you learn about his origin story. It's very interesting, Galactus. But I don't know. I'd have to say Galactus edges him out just by a little. But they both have weaknesses to an item, a MacGuffin. It's the ultimate nullifier versus the Matrix of Leadership. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring that up. Brainstorm 2002, and that's the proof. Like, guys, I always say I hate the new Marvel movie stuff, but I'm such a huge Marvel comic reader. Such a huge Marvel comic reader. Still to this day, I go to my comic store and pick up new books. And old books to read, too. Brainstorm 2002 with the gold super chat. How you doing, Brainstorm? For me, you were born in 2002. So it would be RoboCop, the original RoboCop, I would imagine. The Peter Weller RoboCop by Paul Verhoeven, who is the director, which is a 10 out of 10 perfect movie. I must have bought that movie like 3 times. Love that movie to death. Have so much childhood memories of that one. Star Fox 64, which in my opinion is the best Star Fox game ever made. The only thing that beats it is the remake that's on the 3DS, which was Star Fox 64 3DS, I think they called it, which you could unlock Fox McCloud with the shades. Love Star Fox. Love it, love it, love it. If you go on my Instagram, I posted a bunch of Star Fox merch I used to buy throughout the years. Twizzlers, I love Twizzlers, but they're so bad for me. Twizzlers are so unhealthy. You give me a bag of Twizzlers, and I'll destroy the whole bag. Shout out to Larry, who's probably in the chat today. When we go to TFCon, he always buys a bag of Twizzlers, and I always stare at them, and I don't want to touch them because they're so bad for you. But they're so good. They're so good. Oh, licorice is amazing. I used to eat licorice all the time in high school, and Coca-Cola. He's going with the OG classic Coca-Cola. Good one, Brainstorm. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to go reach for some more of these. Some more sugar. Some more sugar. Mm. I'm telling you, there's something. I'm going to try to get them next week. There's something similar to these. They're slightly bigger. I'm going to have to save one now so I could do side by side. They're slightly bigger and they use rainbow color. And I used to have those years ago when I was a kid. I think I have to go to a Jewish bakery. I don't remember where I got those. I'm going to have to look into it. But they're called prelins? Prelils? I'll look it up. So even some people are saying Galactus for the way. Look, I love Unicron, don't get me wrong. But if we're being logical here, Galactus is all over the place, you know? He's going to make like new heralds, like Galvatron's going to attack him and Galactus is going to turn him into his new herald and we're going to have silver Galvatron or something, you know? Where are we at? Where are we at? Want to grab some more of these. Let's see. I don't want to miss any. Oh, here we go. Transformatics, one of my YouTube member people. 1987 was 15 years old. Movie would have to have been TF the movie or Rad. I effing love Rad. I actually own Rad on VHS. Love that movie. If you love Stan Bush music, Stan Bush helped with the writing for that movie. It was obviously, I think it was John Verham or whatever was the other singer. If you love Stan Bush music, like that style, go watch Rad. What a great BMX movie. The may not be based on true story of a Canadian kid who enters a BMX race, the Hell Track. Love that movie. Or Revenge of the Ninjas. That's a good one too. Snack is going to be Rolos. Rolos are good. Chocolate with caramel on the inside. And Dr. Pepper, or what's that other one? Virmores? I never even heard. Oh, it's ginger ale. Okay. Yeah, there's many different versions of ginger. I think we have like, what's the Schweppes one there that we have here? Ginger ale, pretty much, that brand. I think Barks has a ginger ale too, if I remember correctly. Mikey Lou says, but does Galactus exist in every singular multiverse? I know he exists in one of the movie multiverses, which is the first Fantastic Four one. He exists in the Ultimates universe. I know that much. He exists in the Marvel animated universe because Silver Surfer had Galactus, and that same Silver Surfer crossed over with the other Fox cartoon stuff, and including Hank Hill. There's a commercial of Silver Surfer from Fox with Hank Hill, so I guess he's also in the Hank Hill King of the Hill universe. So he's in quite a few of them. Princeton Fowlings 59. What's for dinner, Proto? More snow caps. No, we had dinner before. We got these Italian sausages, these really good ones, these spicy Italian ones, and we got these fresh baguettes. But we got the sausage was made fresh, like at the butchery. And when it's made fresh, it kind of, for a lack of better words, it sounds disgusting, but it's actually quite good. It has more of a Play-Doh kind of feel to it. So you could take the sausages and you flatten them, and then you bake them. I know it sounds crazy. You poke holes in the casing, you bake it so the fat bleeds out of it, and then you got these really good spicy sausages that have been flattened, and then you put them in the fresh baguette, fresh from the oven. So we had that tonight with some rice and some broccoli. Delicious. I had it beforehand because I knew that I was going to be having this today, so I didn't want to ruin my supper for afterwards. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for the question. Everyone always wants to know. Um, they have the rainbow ones at Bulk Barn. Ooh, I haven't been to Bulk Barn in forever. Okay, thank you, but because you're from Ontario, so you would know. Okay, so I'll have to check Bulk Barn. Yeah, because I'm telling you guys, that's what it tastes like. It's like a mini version. It's giving me an excuse to go for another one. It's like a mini version of it. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah. Let's go with Ron Diaz, Autobot soldier since 1984, Blockbuster. My movie is going to be Outbreak. No sweets. My family's not big on sweets. It doesn't have to be sweets. It can also be like a bag of chips or something, or like pretzels or something. Any kind of snack. That's why I say like a snack, because some people might want to get chips instead of a chocolate bar. Me, it would have been like a plain old barbecue chip bag. Like a Humpty Dumpty is a very popular brand in Canada, so I get like a Humpty Dump, especially in '97, like a Humpty Dumpty brand of barbecue chips. Or what was the other one? Frito Lay's. Would have got that brand back in the day. But we'd get Chinese shrimp fried rice. I can't argue with that. I'd get that on the side if I could get some Chinese food. And the game would have been Mario Kart, original Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart. That game was so hyped back in the day. Who did you main? At first, I mained Mario because I was just like, oh, I got to use Mario because he was balanced. And then my friend started using Toad and it was kicking my butt. Shout out to Victor and my next door neighbor. And then he was kicking my butt. And then I was like, oh man, he might be onto something. But then now, apparently, in the competitive scene of the original Super Nintendo Mario Kart, apparently, like Donkey Kong and King Koopa, I think that's what they were called back then. Obviously, it's Bowser today. Oh no, it was Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Jr. and King Koopa were like top tier if you know how to drift and everything. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Love Mario Kart. I think the most Mario Kart ever played was the DS one because I got like that red special edition one. And that's when also Wi Fi started to become a thing on video game services. Cringe McCringle. What's up, Cringe? With the movie is going to be Terminator 2. Again, another 10 out of 10 movie. The soda is going to be A&W's root beer. Is it going to be a float though? Because float makes it even more hype. But I love A&W root beer. Snack is going to be Skittles or Butterfinger. Ooh, that's a tough one. Skittles is a lot like Twizzlers, where it's one of those candies that are just absolutely terrible for you. But Butterfinger, man, you go that Simpsons route. Butterfinger's really good. I would only ever see Butterfinger during Halloween. Like I'd never see it the rest of the year. I don't know why, but whenever I would have Halloween, you'd always see Butterfinger. It would always pop up. Nobody lay a finger on my Butterfinger. And the game is Transformers 2007. I'm going to assume the PlayStation, Xbox cross-platform version and not the DS version, which, no offense to your answer, the DS version of Transformers 2007 is one of the best Transformer games ever made of that era. Really good stuff. Really love that game. You have Autobots or Decepticon. It's kind of like Pokemon. You pick a version, and then you play the story from the perspective as a new recruit of that faction of the 2007 movie. So if you play as you're a new Autobot on the Autobot team in the 2007 movie story, and you get to scan all these different cars and customize your body and level up it's such a great game. Super, it's like a sleeper hit. Love that game. Love it, love it, love it. But good answers. Good answers. Ron Diaz says he always mained Luigi. Well, Luigi and Mario were kind of the same. They both had the balance. I used Luigi in Mario Kart DS, and then I would use Rob the Robot when I unlocked him because he had a really good straight line on him, which was good for cornering too. Princeton Phalanx 59. I love the Willy Wobbly Classic Red Licorice. So funny they mentioned that. So obviously you have Twizzlers, which is the traditional red licorice like that we kind of buy today. There was a brand that I used to get as a kid, and it was a red licorice, but it had like a stamp in the middle of it, like a square stamp, and I have no idea what brand that was, but I always wanted that one over the regular Twizzlers. I used to get it because next to my high school, there was like, oh, I'm going to use the French term, a dépanneur, but a bodega was next to our high school. And sometimes I'd scrounge up money and I do all my wheeling and dealing even back then when I was a kid. And I'd get, some junk food there back in the day. And I used to get those because they were like 5 cents a piece. And I'd get some red licorice. And I remember the one that they had, I don't know if it was kosher because it was owned by two Jewish people. It was a Cantor's brand, but I don't know what it was, but it was really good. Really, really good. Really good. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, it was a red licorice, but it had like a stamp in it. Like it wasn't like a Twizzler, like twisted kind of style. It was much more just like basic. Oh, Aaron's here. What up, Aaron? Yeah, you missed a lot, Aaron. All the Tidal Wave chat, which I'm pretty sure we'll cover in the near future on the pod with you. Don't worry about that. Joseph Ritter with the $5 super chat. Do you think GoBots would have beaten Transformers if their bot modes were better? I've always felt, look, I love GoBots. I actually had just as many GoBot toys as Transformer toys as a kid growing up. Um, but I've always felt that the big thing that hurt, you have to understand, think about it, it's 1984, right? And the way you're going to advertise your product, it's not going to be so much commercials, it's going to be the show. And Transformers was done by, like, More Than Meets the Eye parts 1, 2, and 3 were drawn by Toei. It's Toei, it's Sunbow Productions. It has that more kind of Japanese anime look. The transformations looked really nice. The style was good. The music was good. The writers were amazing. It was that mega team that was going on. I mean, look, it was 1 year after the guys were killing it with G.I. Joe in 82, 83. Transformers just looked better as a cartoon. And I think that's what hurt GoBots. If it was flipped and Transformers was done by Hanna-Barbera and GoBots was done by Toei, and they went that Machine Robo route, or even if they just brought over Machine Robo straight up. What's up, David Cabal? If they just brought up that Machine Robo anime series, I think it would have been so different. I think it would have gotten received way differently. In the same way that like people love Voltron because of how great the show was. Back in the 80s and in the 90s, the cartoon was the commercial. Look, X-Men was a huge, super insanely selling comic book in the 80s. They put out that Pride of the X-Men cartoon, didn't do well. You know, it wasn't until they did the Fox X-Men cartoon, all of a sudden everything explodes. Now people want X-Men figures and stuff. So it doesn't matter how well a comic book does, it doesn't matter how well, it gets a good word of mouth. You need to have that cartoon that sells it in, and then the toys will do well. So, that's the way I see it is GoBots had a really rough cartoon that kind of that if the cartoon, and I'm not saying it was bad per se, but the visual just wasn't there. If the visual was there and Phytor had a much more dynamic looking transformation, and look, this was Hanna-Barbera kind of like during their period of time where they were having a very weird transition. They were resting on their laurels of how they were doing stuff in the 60s and the 70s, and they had that big superhero boom in the late 60s and early 70s where it was like, Birdman and Dynamite and all of that stuff, and then all the different Scooby-Doo bootlegs that they were doing. And then in the 80s they kind of got lost. They were like, Yogi Bear kids, are we going to do the Archie cartoon? Like they didn't know. Like they were so lost in the 80s, Hanna-Barbera. And then they have to do this dynamic transforming robot show with all these new designs that they have to make for new toys that have to be introduced, which they're not used to doing that. They're used to having 5 designs and just laying that out forever and milking that like crazy, like Filmation. It was tough. I love GoBots. I love GoBot toys. I think they had the superior play sets. I love the GoBot HQ, the command center, and the thrust store. But Hanna-Barbera, it had a tough time. Abraham says Hanna-Barbera did their best work with SWAT Cats, but that's the 90s. Then SWAT Cats was an example of after that Batman the Animated Series cartoon came out, that made everyone go, "Oh, I get it now. We could write something really good and even make it dark and for adults or young teens and still sell millions of action figures." And Aaron knows exactly what I'm talking about because he was with Kenner at the time when that stuff was going on. That made it's Cobra and Delta. Thank you, twins. Cobra. Got to remember that, Cobra. But it's just like Batman changed the game. And SWAT Cats was after Batman. Anything that came after Batman, Gargoyles, X-Men, Spider-Man, all the Marvel stuff, Men in Black, the Godzilla cartoon. Everyone was looking at what Batman did and went, there's something there. There's something there that we got to do. And that changed the game. That changed the game in so many ways. Archer Monster Aaron says here, it comes down to realism. TF was so far ahead on toys and show and detail that GoBots got bowled over. Yeah, well, that too. Well, you know what? Look, Isamu Ubari, who's a famous Japanese animator, he was the one who was responsible for Optimus Prime's transformation in those first few episodes. They had like top tier Japanese animators who were doing those transformations. And then you have Fleur O'Deary kind of cleaning up the designs and making them iconic too from, like, here's the toy. And then we're going to kind of clean it up for animation so it could be done realistically. Like there was so much going on that just made it so superior to GoBots where I watched, you could get the whole GoBot series on DVD. It's out there now. I believe it's done through the Hanna-Barbera Archive, I think they call it, but you could pick it up and go back and watch it. Look, it's fun. The GoBots movie, the Rock Lords movie is fun. I like GoBots, but you can't deny when you compare it next to Transformers, it's like, gosh, it's like almost like GoBots looks like something that was made in the 70s. Like it's unfortunate. It's like it doesn't look like what everything else Sunbow was doing at the time and some of the other animation studios. Like think about all the anime stuff that was being imported quietly. Again, repackaging Voltron, repackaging Robotech that came out in 86, Mighty Orbots, which was again Japanese studio, even though it wasn't a Japanese show, although it was dubbed in Japanese, though, which is pretty fun to find online. Archer Monster says Batman was a money-making machine in the 90s. Damn right it was. Damn right it was. I got my boy right here. Iron Winch Batman. There he is. Always keep him on my shelf. Love my classic Batmans. Where are we at? I don't want to miss anything, guys. If I missed any green member questions, please just repost them again. Super chats, I won't miss those, but the green ones I will miss because they always get pushed away. Sharif has his answer. He's saying Final Fantasy IX, which is my favorite of the 3 PlayStation ones, easily because it's got Vivi in it. And Vivi's the man, the black mage. Final Fantasy IX, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I did not see that movie until years later with an ex-girlfriend. And I was like, oh, okay, I could see why it was popular. Twix chocolate bar, good choice. And a Coca-Cola. Everyone likes the Coca-Cola. Good stuff. Now, Final Fantasy IX is fantastic. I don't know if I think I told this story before. Years ago, when I was in college, I was sitting with a whole bunch of people and I was like, I didn't own a PlayStation at the time. And I said that I had never played any of the Final Fantasies for PlayStation because I love Final Fantasy VI, which was Final Fantasy 3 for us here in the West. And I was like, oh, Final Fantasy 3, aka 6, is the best one ever made. And I was like, and then everyone's like, oh, you never played 7? I'm like, no, I never played 7, but I'd love to play 9. And then there was this girl, I forget her name, I apologize, but she had curly hair, cute girl with freckles and stuff. And she was like, oh my God, you never played it? And then she that was that, right? The next day, she comes with her PlayStation and all 3 games, and she's like, I'm going to let you borrow these. I want you to play them and let me know what you think. And again, thank you to her. And I was like, whoa, okay. It's like I got homework now. I brought it home. I remember my ex-girlfriend was so jealous too. I brought it home and I had a psycho ex-girlfriend at the time. And I played them backwards. I played 9, 8, 7, and I really liked 9. 8 was okay, and 7 was pretty good too. I could see why people really like 7. But I really liked 9. But it was nostalgia for me because I played the original Final Fantasy back in the day. I loved Final Fantasy 1. I loved that you could switch your party out and make the mage the first guy instead of the fighter, and he walks around on the overworld. I love the original Final Fantasy. I even love the original Dragon Warrior, aka Dragon Quest. I used to rent all that stuff back in the day. Where are we at? I don't want to miss any questions. Abraham says, GoBots had some interesting storylines towards the later episodes, but not visually. Yeah, GoBots was fun. It was fun. But again, the visuals, it's like, wow, Hanna-Barbera, man, you guys got to catch it. It's the same thing that I had a problem with He-Man growing up. Was when I was a kid, I used to watch He-Man and I'd be like, why does this show look old? And that was just Filmation's fault because Filmation was like, they played it cheap on the designs and everything. Where it's like you watch like Merry Melodies and you'd be like, which is like the Looney Tune stuff, and it'd be like, oh, Merry Melodies, this cartoon was done in 1955, and it looked way better, and I'd be like, what's going on here? Ron Diaz with the $5 super chat. Spent my day with my girl turning my spare room into my transformer room. That a boy, that a boy. Putting up shelves, drawing a desk, posters. Very excited. Well, my friend, like I always say, don't waste a wall. Make deep shelving. Don't If you have to buy DTOF cabinets, only use DTOFs if you have something in the center of the room. That's it. But if you're using a wall, do not use a DTOF. I know they're cheap and people want to always go with the DTOFs. What's up, Catnip Bravo? But I'm telling you, get deep shelving. That's always my secret. I know it might be a little more like if you have to invest and buy, but if you can, I'm telling you, it's for the future because collections grow and they never shrink. They never shrink. They never shrink, brother. But hey, that's great news. So happy for you. Build that collection, build the man cave. I grew up with a father who had an amazing record room man cave. Go on YouTube and type in your search Proto Man Father's Day special. It's on my old YouTube channel where I interviewed my dad and showed people my toy collection. His toy collection and his records and stuff. And you'll see where all the madness came from. Where are we at here? But thank you for the $5 super chat and congratulations. Prince of Phalanx 59 with the $5 super chat. Do you that Studio Series Bumblebee movie Megatron could be retooled into Studio Series 86 even if it has a tank? Well, here's the first problem with that. So if you retooled it right, now you're going to have like a massive Megatron though. Like he's going to be really big. So he won't be like to scale next to Optimus because that movie Megatron mold is very tall. Very, very tall. It towers over our Voyager class Optimus Prime. So, yeah, it could be done, but considering Studio Series is about scale and accuracy, the first hurdle is that it's a leader class. So, and it's a very big leader class. It's not like a leader class that has a whole bunch of pieces that then justify it. So, I think that would be the first hurdle you'd have to get over is how he would be out of scale. I mean, it's kind of like what was that? Was it Titan's Return or Power of the Prime? Which display is that in? Oh, that's in my Titan's Return display. So like Titan's Return Megatron, the one that has like the sticker sheet where you could put like the Autobot logo on him. So like, like that was like a lot of the one that was turned into Armada Megatron at one point. Like, it was out of scale with all the other Optimuses. So that's kind of the first hurdle you'd have to get over. Any idea on why they have delays, Deathy Boys, for another 2 months in Europe, Proto? So from what I heard is there's a delay in Europe. I think it has to do just with connections and delivery. Just be happy that it's only delays where all the people in China, where was it? Somewhere in Asia, like they shipped it out and it all got sunk to the ocean and they end up getting refunded instead. And so no one ended up getting Victory Saber. So I mean, look, if it's 2 month delay, I'm expecting mine probably a month after everyone else from Hasbro. So you just got to be patient, I guess. It is what it is. But I mean, I get your excitement. It looks really cool, that figure. I can't wait to get it. I'm going to do a cool photo shoot with all the past Deathsaurus toys throughout the years. I'm going to put like the original. I'm going to put the PVC. I'm going to put the model kit. I'm going to put the BotCon one. I know I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? One of the others. But yeah, I'm excited when I get it. It's going to be really cool. Mr. Bumblebot, Tank got DTOFs are discontinued. Well, you could still find them in the secondary market. Where are we at here? Talib never got into JRPGs on my system. My first was Legend of Dragoon Epic Ending Scene. I've never played that one. My friend played that one. It looked good. That's the one with the guy with the reddish orange suit and the long hair, if I remember correctly. I think I'm on the right track on that one. That was a PlayStation 1 game. Ron Diaz, I think my FOC Generations, Fall of Cybertron Generations Cliff Jumper is better than the new Studio Series Gamer Edition Cliff Jumper. I've heard people, the only thing they don't like is how the big, like the chest is, like it really sticks out and it's hollow from one angle. But I haven't messed with one yet, so I can't speak for it. I like the originals. I love those original Generations ones. Those were amazing. It was Combiner Wars. My bad. Combiner Wars leader Megatron. Thank you, T Formers 2002. Yeah, it's true. It's near my Combiner Wars. I'm looking at my display, and it's like, oh, it's on the cusp of Combiner Wars and Titan Returns. So that's why he's right next to Ultra Magnus and the Skywarp that came out during that. Some people got it on the 12th. Ashnud got it on the 12th. Aaron, man, it's good stuff. Oh, you didn't see the opening. You're gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to go back, my friend. Because of you. You started all of this. Now I'm gonna eat all this sugar before I crash for the night. I'll wash down all that sugar. But yeah, man, good stuff. Correct. The main protagonist suit was red and he had blonde hair. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the cover because one of my friends in high school, I remember him playing it vividly. Which again shows how old I am. He really liked that one. I remember I forget who it was, but one of my buddies, he once said that a lot of SquareSoft not Final Fantasy, SquareSoft JRPGs that weren't Final Fantasy, it's like they only existed just to be like testing like styles for future Final Fantasy games. And when he played, I think it was Legend of Dragoon, he's like, I could see ideas in this game being used for future Final Fantasies. Alden Tolber with the $2 super chat. Imagine if Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper fused. Yeah, it's called if Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee fused, it's what was movie Hot Rod. I always joked about that. You take like the movie Bumblebee and the movie Cliff Jumper and you fuse them together and it's kind of movie Hot Rod. Like that's always I always felt like I think I did a video of that where they did a fusion, from Dragon Ball. I always kind of felt that they were kind of it's like they could have called them just Cliff Jumper. They didn't even need to call movie Hot Rod. A French Cliff Jumper. Man, did I get in so much trouble for that. I remember leaving the theater and one of my friends texted me and he's like, I hope that Hot Rod is not French because of you, because I thought it was silly too. I am not French. I don't even know how I changed the language. James Hopkins with the questions, nothing like going to be with the sugar jitters. No, I've never really had that. Never really had that. But they are good though. But again, it reminds me of something that I've had here in Canada. And if Mr. Bumblebot is right, I'm going to go check out Bulk Barn this week, and I'll try to see if I could get the Canadian version because it's very similar, very very. I haven't had it in years, but it reminds me of it. It has the same texture. T Formers 2002 saw Godzilla -1 today. What about you? I do want to see that. But my girl wants to see it with me, so she's holding me back because we have to see it together. But I do want to see that. She would be angry if I didn't see it with her because she likes the Godzilla movies. So I have to wait. But I do want to see that really bad. James Hopkins going to bed. Take care, James. Thank you for coming by. Prince of Phalanx 59, Perman is having sugar withdrawal. Bro, I don't even remember the last time I've had like sweets. Like I think, no joke, it was probably TFCon. Like shit, when was the last time? God, when was the last time I had chocolates? Oh God, I know that I was gonna buy an advent calendar, but I kind of stopped myself because I was like, oh, I can't have all that sugar every day. I think the closest thing to sugar I probably have is Copico, those little coffee candies there, but they don't have that much sugar in them. They're more coffee. Had those once in a while. David Cabal, Proto, who did you main in Tekken? That Taekwondo guy. I actually have his action figure upstairs. Juan, whatever. Obviously the Korean dude. I used to main him in Tekken 4 Arcade because he had range where you could light tap the kick and he would lift his leg, but he wouldn't strike. So you could mix it up because Tekken is all about like space, because you don't have fireballs and stuff. It's much more about space control. I remember the only guy that was tough to beat was the boxing dude. I don't know the names offhand. King is like the only one I ever remember. The tiger face guy. He's the one I always remember. Oh, and what's his name? Paul, the dude who has like that one punch kill, down punch, and he goes, oh. And depending how you get hit, he kills you in one hit. I never saw the anime of Tekken. I remember it was out all those years ago in the 90s, but I remember it when Tekken 4 in arcades came out, everyone was playing it, and I played that Taekwondo guy. And the only reason why I picked the Taekwondo guy, because at the time playing King of Fighters, I was using Kim Kap-won, who is a Korean Taekwondo character. So I was like, oh, let's try both. That should be fun. That should be fun. So I hope that answers that. But the Tekken anime, I never saw it. Maybe one day I'll check it out. And I never saw the Tekken live action. I heard that was dog poop, though. But then again, I never saw the King of Fighters live action either. No hate to Susie Q, but she's no Mai Shimaru. I'm sorry. Prince and Phalanx 59, I believe it was Taiwan that had the HasLab Star Saber that sank. Oh my goodness, that sucks for Taiwan. Somewhere at the bottom of the ocean, sleeping with the fishes is an entire metal crate of Star Sabers right next to the Titanic. Patrick Brown, yeah, Godzilla -1 is literally my favorite Japanese Godzilla now. Really? Ooh, that's. But here's the thing, Patrick. Have you seen all the Godzilla movies? Because to say that's pretty bold to say that. Because, ooh, that's a tough one for Godzilla. Original Godzilla 57 Japanese dub is really good. Mecha Godzilla, the first one, is really good. Return of Mecha Godzilla is really good. Attack All Monsters is really good. Oh, those, I don't know how it could be better than those, but I'd like to. I'm going to see it, and we'll see. We'll see. I'll try to catch it. I'll try to catch it at some point. Ron Diaz, does Montreal have breweries? Brother, Montreal is a beer city. Of course it does. Labatt Blue and all those Canadian beers that you buy, they're all made in Montreal. Where could I get a good Canadian ale? I'm not a big drinker myself, but I guarantee you go to Montreal. Look, the thing about Montreal is we have a great nightlife. So there's tons of booze. All the Formula One drivers, you have to understand Formula One Canada, they love it. They love it. There's plenty of booze everywhere. You go to downtown Montreal, you won't have a hard time finding some good liquor. Let's put it that way. Huarang, there you go. That's his name. Huarang, I'm probably saying it incorrectly. My white boy tongue. James Hopkins says, one second, I want to make sure I don't miss anything, guys. All the questions. Laugh out, I was correcting my sentence. I was supposed to nothing like going to bed with sugar jitters and not going to bed. Okay. Okay, James. Mark Morales with the $5 super chat. I'm shocked that we've been denied a Megatron movie appearance for almost a decade. I could just hear Frank Welker's voice coming through the new movie Bumblebee Megatron. Well, Frank now is very receptive to doing movie stuff. Considering he's been doing movie stuff for years, I mean, every Disney movie he was in, if there was a Disney movie and there was an animal in it, it was Frank Welker, so it's not like he's been doing multi-million-dollar movies that made money back in the day forever. It's actually Peter Cullen I was going to say Peter Welker. It's actually Peter Cullen that was the one that was doing more of the TV stuff and commercials at the time, not Frank. Frank was always doing the big movies. So I'm sure he'll be back. They won't pass up on Frank. Obviously, the new Transformers 1 movie is a different story. They want to bring in their big actors and stuff to promote the animation. But I'm pretty sure they'll bring in the other guys. Patrick Brown, I've seen Dozen original. I've seen Dozen original is great. Mech is good. Shin Godzilla is great. Really love every aspect of -1. Okay, I got to go see it. Got to see it. And then there's Monarch too. How was Monarch? because that one too I haven't seen. Again, I don't pay for streaming services. I enjoy my money, so it's something where I'm just going to find other ways. Let's put it that way. Prince of Phalanx 59 just now watch Disney will buy Godzilla to have the box office hit. Disney, stay away. Stay away from my Toei sci-fi tokusatsus and SF giant mecha. Disney, stay away from all of that. Disney sucks. Monarch was last week and had a really slow first episode. Okay. Well, anyways, that I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till it's finished, and then I'll find it somewhere. I will find it somewhere. Larry, strip club on every corner. Don't you know it? Except for Club Super Sex that burned down. Rest in peace, Club Super Sex. Rest in peace. Where are we at here? Patrick Brown. But up to last week, it's been pretty awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that one. A lot of times when there's series, I kind of wait for them to run their course, and then I just catch it all in one shot through different means. Army matey. T-Formers 2002, at least Scooby-Doo has been a nice consistent paycheck for Frank for the time being. Yeah, man. All you have to do is listen to Frank Welker doing an interview in his regular voice, and you go, oh, it's Freddie. Oh my goodness. Or Fred. Patrick Brown, Kurt Russell, and his son playing the same character 60 years apart is just brilliant casting. Oh, really? I did not see that. Okay, that's cool then. Again, I'm gonna try to catch all of that stuff for sure, especially the Godzilla movie, because I keep hearing great things about it. But for some people to say it's the best Godzilla movie, that's like, wow, okay, that's that's some big heavy praise. That's like you know, same thing with Ultraman. Like to say like if a new Ultraman something comes out and says the greatest Ultraman of all time, I'll be like, wow, really? It's gonna be pretty hard to beat some of the old Ultraman stuff. And it's not just nostalgia; it's just like some of that stuff. Like it would be hard to do today because people want something that's a little more dumbed down for certain audiences. I didn't like the Netflix Godzilla series, Planet Godzilla. I wasn't a fan of that one either. I didn't finish it all, but it was like that was kind of eh. If you want to watch a good Godzilla series, watch the animated one that was done by Fox that was based off of 97 Godzilla or 98 Godzilla. It's really good. Really like that one. It was done by the same guys that did Big Guy and Rusty and the Men in Black series. Very good animation. Good storytelling, good voice acting. Too bad it didn't have John Reno in it, though. Prince of Phalanx 59. Larry is at the strip club right now. Princeton, are you there with him? Larry, hold on to your money. Tom Laney, I got the Legacy Dragon Megatron and Legacy Blitzwing. These Litas, these Lita classes. Well, good for you, Tom. Leader class plastic feels way too soft. Really? I don't know. I messed with Aaron's leader class Armada Megatron. It felt pretty good. And I messed with that one and the original, of course, because we had both of them on the table. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty nice. I don't know. Maybe I just have bad taste. Lizard Sir X. Speaking of the Big G, I saw the trailer for Godzilla X King Kong. Man, they both look really weird. I see where you're getting at with that. I feel like it's something where I feel like it's going to be better when the movie comes out. Like the trailer, they're like it's like the Sonic movie where they're putting it out there and they're seeing how people react, and then they clean it up when the movie comes out. Look, Rise of the Beast was the same thing. They put out a trailer, and then there was footage and stuff that was edited before the final movie. I think it's the same thing with this one. Anything where the main characters are CG, there's always stuff that's like cleaned up before it actually hits theaters. Like it's always different from the trailer. Heck, even Dark of the Moon. Go watch the original Dark of the Moon trailer. Sentinel Prime was yellow, like a yellowish gold. And then they made him red in the final movie. Mr. Bumblebot, Godzilla -1 is a passion project of the director to the point that he did the VFX animation on it. Oh, really? Well, again, I really want to see it. All my Godzilla Toku buddies are saying how it's really good. I didn't hear best of all the Godzilla movies, but I heard really good. So Definitely going to go out of my way to catch that one. Got my little Anime City dude right here, Sufobi. Shout out to Anime City in Toronto. Thank you for being fans of the podcast and sending me a gift. The Twins Corner with the $7 Canadian Super Chat. Our perfect Friday night package, all dressed Ruffle chips. Good choice. Ruffles is good, even plain. Ruffles plain chips are good too. I like Ruffles, but they're so oily. And a Kit Kats. Kit Kats are like always top 5 chocolate bars. Barks root beer. It's got bite. Ouch. And an Xbox game will be Dino Crisis 3. Good choice. I like Dino Crisis 1. And Thumb Wars, the Star Wars parody. I've never heard of Thumb Wars. I have never heard of that. Is that a video game or a movie? I have never heard of Thumb Wars. Really? I've heard of a Thumb War. Like, I've never heard of that. That's interesting. And here's me, who I fancy myself and knowing everything. I don't know that. Ron Diaz, the Godzilla animated series on WB was so good. Yeah, it was. It was really good. It was really, really good. I loved it. It was on Fox too, no? It was really, really good. Love that series. It was like a spiritual successor to the movie. Lizard Sphere X also leaks for toys, show off the other villains, but spoilers. Oh, I'm not going to do that then. I'm going to avoid that. Person Phalanx 59. He's heading out T-Formers. he's heading out T-Formers 2 instead of dollars. He's handing out Transformers instead of dollars. And it's like he's putting mini cons down some bras, I guess. That must be uncomfortable. Where are we at? Ashnod, it's a movie. It's a movie. How much time we got left? Oh my goodness, we only have 13 minutes left. Jeez. Get those super chats in, people. Thumb Wars is the best. What is this, a video game? Joseph, you're killing me. What's Thumb Wars? I have to go check it out. You got to give me, whenever I see something I don't know, then I have to go check it out. Like, I didn't know what this was. Watch this. I'm gonna get a Thumb War sent to me in the PO box now or something. I don't even know if it's a video game or a movie. Mikey and Louie, where's our HasLab reveal? We'll see. Not until next year. Not until next year. Here we go. DW Brown says it's a movie. My sister loves the Thumb Wars series. It's a parody of Star Wars, The Godfather, and the Blair Witch Project with some. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm going to try to find that. That's probably something I probably find on Tubi. Sounds like a Tubi thing. Which streaming service is it on, if anyone knows? It saved me some time looking for it tonight. Because after we finish this live stream, I go grab myself a little something to eat. I usually play some Nintendo Switch, maybe watch a movie, and then I crash for the night. Ron Diaz, OP Energon should be leader with 2 Voyagers. So you want the Optimus Prime Energon to be a leader with 2 Voyager classes, I guess, for the accessories. Oh, I don't know about that, because then he would have to have that ugly trailer too. Unless if they leave out that ugly trailer. T-Formers 2002 says his answer, T-Formers 2002's answer is the 2007 movie will be the movie. The drink will be Orange Crush. That's my second place. It's always cream soda and then Orange Crush. Love Orange Crush. Snack will be a Kit Kat. And you only got 3 answers since you spent nearly 20 years of my life barely touching any video games, unfortunately. No problem. Well, you could say even like, I don't know, Mario or Duck Hunt, you know. Just I always put all 4 because that's like the classic Blockbuster night, you know. Just like the classic Blockbuster night. Ron Diaz with the $5 super chat. Anyone is asking what you're eating, I want to know what you're listening to. Oddly enough, what I was listening. So whenever I make the slides, like for the live streams, any of these slides that I have here, I'll just put up a few of them. Put up the Symbiote Studio slide. Why not? Why not? While we talk, give Symbiote Studio some love. Here's the rest. So usually when I work on the slides, I listen to music, and I was listening to. There's like I have like all these different playlists that I make of anime music, and I have one playlist that's literally called 90s fad anime openings. So it'll be like Beyblade. But mind you, Beyblade was 2000. But it'll be Beyblade. It'll be Metabots. It'll be this, and like for some reason, this is super deep cut. Anyone knows what Crush Gear is? So Crush Gear never came out in America, but it was like a kind of like an electrical model kit building Beyblade-ish arena battle kind of game. So I was listening to the Crush Gear soundtrack while editing today, making all the slides for today. So listening to Crush Gear and Kyodai Let's Go Brothers, which is another like 4WD game. Super, super deep cuts. Everyone's like, what the hell is he talking about? These were popular Japanese like picture, you know, Beyblade popular, Bakugan popular, like that kind of stuff, but only exclusively in Japan, never brought over here. I think it's very like I think the 4WD stuff is very popular in the Philippines and Indonesia though, but very popular in Japan. Mini 4WDs, the Kyodai Let's Go Brothers and Crush Gear. Look up those two. And you're going to be like, Proto Man, what am I looking at? But I was listening to the soundtracks of those while editing. I like to I have a very weird range of music that I listen to. I listen to everything. So that's what I was listening to right now. Abraham with the $2 super chat proto. Did you ever get to see the anime Mecha Doc? No, I have not actually. Is that new or is that old? I've never heard of that. Mecha Doc. What is that? No, I have not. Where are we at? I don't want to miss any other questions. Patrick Brown, in honor of the GTA 6 trailer, I am literally right now playing GTA Vice City. Very good one. Vice City was, for the longest time, my guys in mechanic school were saying that was the best one. San Andreas was pretty good too. I like it, but everyone was like, oh, I love Vice City. And I never played any of the new ones. Never played any of the new ones. My PlayStation 3 time was dedicated to a lot of other games. Mikey and Louie, when are we getting the rest of our Symbiote Studio plushes? Next year. Next year, we got a whole bunch of reveals. It's going to be pretty hype. Pretty hype. Check them out, yo. Battlestar Galactica show was in the late 70s, was good. I love the Battlestar Galactica show. Although I remember watching the original Battlestar Galactica with my pop, and we were watching the I think it's like the end credits, and he's like, they just ripped off Star Wars, and I'm like, that's the point. That's what Battlestar Galactica was exactly trying to do. Lord Arboron, I'm going to change my original answer. Okay, so what are we going with? So 2001, Halo's the game for Xbox One. Actually, I have to talk about Xbox for a second. Xbox, the original. The Rock as the movie, as in not the wrestler, the movie, The Rock, which is based off of the prison movie. Hershey's Bar for a snack, and you're going with a Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's a good one too. Dr. Pepper. Funny story. So recently, I bought like for dirt cheap. Anyone knows DDR, the game mats? I bought for dirt cheap the DDR game mats for the original Xbox, with the games and everything for like nothing. And when I mean nothing, I mean like $1 Canadian, like absolutely nothing. And I went to, I'm like, oh man, like it obviously because of the plugs, it doesn't work on Xbox 360. It doesn't work on the new Xbox. I have to use my original Xbox. I went to fire up my original Xbox. It started up for a little bit. Orange thing, my Xbox is dead. So I have a humongous paperweight now that doesn't work anymore. I have no idea how to fix it. I looked up online. There's no way to fix it. I think I'm just going to let it sit, and then I'm going to have to find some way to play Xbox original games. I don't want to say Xbox One because it's confusing. So like, all the old Fable games, and thank God I could still play Sneak King on the 360, but what's another good one? Crimson Dawn, not Crimson Dawn. Was it called Crimson Dawn? What was it called? Crimson Skies. Love that game. That was a really good Xbox game. All my Xbox stuff I got ridiculously cheap. Someone bought an Xbox. They brought it to a flea market. I went to the flea market, bought it for $10. And I had a new Xbox like 20 years ago for $10 because it was a giant paperweight. Still have my Xbox from it, but lost a copy of GTA and San Andreas. Well, does your original Xbox still work? Because I don't know. Mine just died out of nowhere. Didn't even use it. It just died. Twins Corner says it was, oops, 2003, you meant to say. Yeah, you got to say your year. You have to say the year too, because that kind of gives it context. You know what I mean? Like me, I said 1997. That way it makes sense. Like the chocolate bar that I got doesn't even exist today, but back then it was like the best chocolate bar, you know? Lizard's Fair X. So what is he going with? He's going with the third Pokemon movie. Which was the third one? You had Mewtwo, then you had Pokemon the movie 2000, which I think was the second one. What was the third one? Was that the one with Celebi? And he got the trading card with the DVD? What was the third one? I don't remember. Oh, was that the one with the one with Latia that turns into the girl? I don't remember. It's been so long. There's like 12 Pokemon movies. The movie will be Shrek. Great choice. Although I like Shrek 2 a little more. I think Shrek 2 was the better of the two. Earthworm Jim. Which version though? Sega Genesis version or Super Nintendo? Earthworm Jim's a fantastic game. Although the second one again is really good. Entei. Oh, it's true. The Thunder one. Okay, Entei was the second. Okay, the third one. And Soft Mints. Is that like Junior Mints? Because I love Junior Mints. And a Sprite. Very good choices. Very good choices. Ashnud, years ago, I powered up the old Super Nintendo and burst in the flames. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. Turned out it was full of old spider stuff. What the? Jeez, where'd you keep that old Nintendo? I have bought and sold hundreds of Nintendos and tested them. I have 3 Nintendos in my room because I actually rotate between them. My Japanese games I use on one because it bends. You know, when you use it with a Honeybee adapter, it bends the thing. And when you use it with a Game Genie, then I have another one that I use that I only use specifically on raw Nintendo games. And then I have a backup one just in case. And I have never heard of them bursting in the flames. How is that even possible? They'd have to be like on the spider web would have to have been like directly on the wiring to then on the soldered wiring to then be able to create some kind of heat to then burst in the like that is okay. Can't believe I don't know. It was a Celebi with Entei card. There you go. Okay. Yeah, see, that's why I have like a vague memory of that. I remember it came with the DVD. What was the other one? Jiraiya? Was that like the 5th movie? Because I remember I got that one. And it came with the card too. Tom Laney Proto, thanks for another great time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Later, everybody. Take care, Tom. Thank you for swinging by. We're almost done anyways today too, but thank you. Xbox still works and was refurbished when I got it. Ah, that's why. Okay. I don't know who could fix an Xbox at this time because I'd love to. There's a few games that just they only work on an Xbox original. And it's just like, I mean, is there a way that I could mod like see, and I can't mod an original. See, the problem is I can't mod an Xbox 360 because it doesn't have the ports to use those special peripherals like a DDR pad or a racing, or like a Project Gotham. I want to be able to use my steering wheel, and it won't work on Xbox 360. My other steering wheel I have on my PS3, my nice Logitech Momo steering wheel for my Gran Turismo. Jirachi, thank you. Was this movie 6? Okay, I thought it was like 5th. I remember getting that one. They're all just like they're like a blur because it's like you get them, and when you get them, you're like, when did this one fall into the timeline? Oh, who's this? Who's the tag along side characters? Okay, it's part of this one. Yeah. Abraham anime was early 80s from Tokusonoku. Excuse me. Too much chocolate in me. Tatsunoku. Lots of cars. Had an episode introduced Honda City. Oh, really? The old Honda City and Honda City Turbo. Isn't there USB ports for the 360? Yeah, they are USB ports, but the problem is that the exclusive peripherals for the original Xbox, it's those round plugs there. So unless people is there number one, is there something I could buy that allows me to use those circle peripherals as a like is there like a USB to circle peripheral for Xbox for the Xbox 360? But then the problem is I can't play Xbox 360 games on original Xbox games on Xbox 360. They don't allow that, which is stupid. You have to get a download and it's only approved games, but the problem is Xbox Live doesn't exist anymore, supported for the 360. Microsoft, you effing suck as a company. As a video game company. Good Lord, how are you still around? Good Lord. Who buys Xbox stuff? Man, every time I look back and I'm like, my God, the way they handle the support for all their original systems is dog shit. It really is. As someone who collects and plays, like I'm not like one of those guys like, you're only one guy or another guy. No, like I try to play it all. And it's like, man, it sucks being a collector and or a fan of that Microsoft library. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, PlayStation, Nintendo all the way. It's or PC or PC. And we are done. We are done. One before we're done, let's get one more. Let's cap it off with some snow caps. A few more. Mm-mm-mm. Get more sugar in me. Okay. And I have to wash it down with water. That's some thick stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you for the beautiful live stream yet again. Thank you for all the love and support. Hope you learned something today with all the news and everything. We're going to do this week, we're going to have a Patreon listener question, as well as we're going to do some updates probably on the news and get some more information on what's going on with all the individual stuff for people that won't catch the live stream. They just want to listen to the podcast segments. So we'll check all that out. We'll do that later this week. We are planning to do a brand new Toy Armada segment with Aaron Archer, so go check out that channel if you haven't already. We're going to be doing something with him too in the near future. So go check out, of course, support the sponsors. Check out Symbiote Studios. Go pick up some awesome plush pins and t-shirts. Bang Bang, Boom Boom, and the others, which are out of shot. There they are. Good old Unicron and the crew. So go check out Symbiote Studios and the seats. Their last month with the podcast. Go check them out too. And the seats over there. And of course, Hasbro Pulse. Go to their YouTube channel. Go check out some Transformer stuff and everything, and go support Hasbro Pulse because they are also sponsors of everything that we do here on the pod. Otherwise, thank you all for coming. And once again, if you want to help support the podcast in a extended form, and of course, you also get something out of it. It's not free. You get something back too. We have our Patreon link down there. Come join the Patreon. It gives you access to the Discord, everything. If Patreon isn't your thing, we also have that join button down there for YouTube membership. Those were the all beautiful green names on the side with the cool Transformer icons next to them. You could check that out too. So you have many different options if you want to help support the podcast. Otherwise, thank you all for the love and support. Thank you to whoever sent that snow cap in the mail. I did not see a single person claim that they got it. And I have 2 more boxes of it to do. Which I might actually, I'm probably going to give one to my friends or family or something so they could try it out also. But again, thank you for the love and support, people. Check out everything that we're doing. Go check out some old segments if you want to. Otherwise, go check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Go get some cool stuff from Symbiote Studios. And thanks for all the love and support. I am out of here. I'm going to relax. And like I always say, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your friends, your family. It's a beautiful world out there with so many cool, beautiful things. You could stop having tomorrow, all new content could stop forever. And there's so much cool stuff to go back and enjoy. So many cool cartoons, video games, toys, and everything, trading cards. What a great world. That there's no point to be negative or angry. There's so much negativity on social media. I swear, some content creators that I watch, I see them being negative, and I almost want to publicly on Twitter go, bro, just effing relax. Just relax. Why are you letting it get to you? Go relax. I don't know. Maybe they don't have a significant other. Maybe they're not chill. I don't know what it is. Something's bothering them here. But just relax, enjoy life. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's really cool. Go hang out with some friends, play some Magic the Gathering, play some video games, get some good food, hang out with your buddies, and enjoy the greatness of life. And life is great. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play some Nintendo Switch, finish the chocolate that I'm hyped up on at 11 o'clock at night. No, 10 o'clock now. But and take care of yourself. I'm out of here. Love you guys. Peace.